If you like the content, please consider subscribing. It's 100% free and you can always change your mind at any time. So, thanks for being here and I hope you like the video. Welcome to the Neutral News, where we report and you decide. My name is Brian. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. It's June 19th, 2021, guys. This is episode 2, and today is Juneteenth. Happy holiday, everybody. Finally, we recognize the end of slavery in America with a national holiday. So, of course, you see behind me, you see a lot of bipartisan support here for this long overdue thing. I really don't know what took it so long. I guess we can listen to a few words. It's a really long video, but we'll see what they...
This issue. My Democratic partner, Tina Smith, for all of your great leadership. We're also going to be joined by Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, Congressman Danny Davis, and Steve Williams, who is the president of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation.
The bill that says Juneteenth is a federal holiday. It was an important moment for recognizing our history, not shrinking from it, not sweeping it under the rug, not denying it, but staring it directly in the face.
And that's the way I regard Juneteenth. This is nothing new to the state of Texas. We've had it a state holiday for the last 40 years. But I believe that there's no better time than the present, particularly given the strife we've seen, the level of distrust, for example, between law enforcement and the communities they serve, than to acknowledge our nation's history and to learn from it.
So I think we need to use this victory to build momentum for the systemic change that we need in this country.
Along with in the United States House, now in the Senate, to Senator Cornyn, my counterpart from Texas, Senator Smith, we welcome you. And my longtime resonating baritone, deep-voiced next door neighbor, Danny Davis. It is a pleasure to be with you today. As I skip away, I'll be skipping away to the floor. As we heard the sounds of joyful noise coming across the august halls to the House of Representatives late yesterday evening, we immediately grabbed whoever I could on the floor to be able to say, we must do this. It has come to that point.
Definitely. So let's see some more stuff on this. This was really, I thought, important to hear from the first black president. I mean, a lot of things changed. I voted for Barack Obama. Pretty much everyone I know voted for Barack Obama. And let's see what he has to say.
President Obama, happy Juneteenth.
It is good to see you. Happy Juneteenth to you.
Thank you. It signifies, since you've been elected president, that we've moved on from the issue of race. What do you say to that?
Well, I think that's never been the case, that by virtue of my election, somehow we entered into a post-racial world. It wasn't something I believed at the time, and I certainly don't believe it now. The fact is that a lot of barriers still exist for a whole lot of folks. Yeah. You get hope back from, for me at least, taking the long view and recognizing that resilience, determination, the ability to deal with setbacks and disappointments and keep going, that those are qualities that can carry us forward, and no one has exhibited that more historically in this country than African Americans.
And you know, excuse me, it took a lot of white people to elect Barack Obama president. So no, we are with you and we are behind you. Now, some negative things are coming out, of course, and I want to give everyone a chance to say their piece. So let's let one of the leaders in mainstream news speak for a moment, and let's let Don Lemon take the mic for a sec.
I want to start with the overwhelming vote in the House tonight establishing Juneteenth as a federal holiday. Can you believe that? Many of you are probably unfamiliar. So for those who are unfamiliar, Juneteenth marks June 19th That's in 1865. That was the end of slavery when a Union general announced in Galveston, Texas, that slavery was over in accordance with President Lincoln's 1863 Emancipation Proclamation. Black Americans, but that was 2 years after. Can you believe it? Black people were free and emancipated and then didn't find out, it was on purpose, purposefully, that they weren't free or emancipated 2 years after. So Black Americans have long observed Juneteenth as the unofficial end of slavery in this country, though it has been a state holiday in Texas for 40 years. It hasn't had full recognition. Well, as they say, a change is going to come, right? The Senate passed a bill just yesterday, President Biden expected to sign into law, as Juneteenth National Independence Day. Juneteenth National Independence Day. Keep that name in mind. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. The House vote nearly unanimous, 415 to 14. Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez noting tonight that the 14 dissenters are all white Republican men.
I mean, this is pretty consistent with, I think, the Republican base, and it's whether it's trying to fight against teaching basic history around racism and the role of racism in U.S. history to, there's a direct through line from that to denying Juneteenth, the day that is widely recognized and celebrated as the symbolic kind of day that to represent the end of slavery in the United States. There's a direct through line between that denial of our history and wanting to understand the full scope of our history and celebrating the end, a major end of injustice in the United States. And I think it's a shame.
Well, one of those voting no, Texas Republican Chip Roy, excuse me. Today, I voted against the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, which would establish a new national holiday called Juneteenth National Independence Day. Juneteenth should be commemorated as the expression of the realization of the end of slavery in the United States, and I commend those who worked for its passage. I could not vote for this bill, however, because the holiday should not be called Juneteenth National Independence Day, but rather Juneteenth National Emancipation or Freedom or Otherwise Day. Okay, Chip Roy. The name needlessly divides our nation, he says, on a matter that should instead bring us together by creating a separate Independence Day based on the color of one's skin.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. And this, my friends, is why the video was made today. Because what we're trying to do here is to stop conflict and bring you the truth. The wording of this thing is causing a problem. So this is probably the core problem. So instead of listening further to Don Lemon, he was just laughing, so I can only assume that he doesn't agree with this guy. Now, let's okay, we heard AOC. Let's listen to these people themselves.
I fully support creating a day to celebrate the abolition of slavery, a dark portion of our nation's history. However, naming this day National Independence Day will create confusion and push Americans to pick one of those 2 days as their Independence Day based on their racial identity.
It goes on. And what they're arguing about is the wording. Now, here's the question then. Should we allow the wording to remain or change the wording because it offends some people because it conflicts with July 4th being called Independence Day? Comment down below. Let us know how you feel. We don't want this darkness over Juneteenth because it's not a racial darkness. It's just a matter of wording. There's been so much conflict, guys.
Why ask Americans to pick one of the 2 Independence Days to celebrate? I think it's wrong to do that.
Thanks for joining me on this Saturday edition of the Neutral News and this wonderful celebration that's long overdue in America. And let's not let a misunderstanding ruin this wonderful holiday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye, guys.